Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Casual Sports Podcast, NHL and NBA's Finals Edition. And now we got a gentleman right over here who's still sad that I am getting $4. Here's Douglas.
You're getting $4.
$4
Yeah.
for
The bet.
what was the bet?
All right. Yeah.
Colorado Vegas. You said they were going to come back. I was going to give you 50 if Colorado came back.
How much did we bet on the? Didn't I take the Spurs though?
I
Is that
know
only
we
$1?
bet $1 on the Spurs.
I was only $1. Why don't we do $1?
Yeah,
All right. Well, I'll send you your money.
Sir, you still owe me $1 because the Spurs won. I picked the Spurs.
I did. I actually thought the Spurs. Yeah, that is true. I did. Pay, I was like, fuck.
I
think I'm
underdog, and I picked the Spurs.
I think I'm at only $2. Like, I got to check the tape because I think I picked Montreal versus Carolina.
All right, yeah, run the tape, Stuart.
I got to check the tape. It's like, if there's a place where I can look at our archive for recordings and maybe look what we said beforehand. But we never know, right, Douglas?
You never know.
And now we got a gentleman right over here who's $2 crispy richer because of my stupidity of picking Montreal and the Timberwolves. Here's Chris.
What? Timberwolves? What was it? Anyways,
yeah.
Yeah, just go Spurs. All right, Timberwolves. Where did that come from?
Did you guys bet on last round?
Yes,
did we do a bet last? Wow. All right, good memories.
I screwed up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you did, Stu.
But to be fair, if it was game 7, I was actually going to go Spurs, to be fair. When it's Spurs versus
Oh, you clearly didn't, Stu.
I clearly did not.
Like you're Wembanyama doubter, Stu.
I'm not a downer. I am going to we'll discuss that when we get to the finals right over here.
Dude should have won MVP, in my opinion, but defensive player of the year is not bad.
So, anyway, gentlemen, what is your thoughts on the two teams that made it? It's interesting because we got narratives for both teams right over here. One team is the Goliath, the newest Goliath right over here in the Vegas Golden Knights. And then the other one, we like to call it, was the choke artist of the NHL of making postseasons and blowing it, but they finally have no Florida in the Carolina Hurricanes.
So you called Vegas the Goliath and then the Hurricanes the choke artist? All right.
The new Goliath. I think that'd be fair to say.
Sure. I'm thinking for this season specifically, the Hurricanes are the Goliaths. Besides what didn't they have the second best record in the NHL?
Yes, but I feel like they're good, but they're like the Buffalo Bills. That like they have the talent, but it's like, what can they do with that talent? And they always just blow it and choke and choke and choke.
I mean, yeah, we're going live right now, but like game 1, Hurricanes were up 2-0, and now it's a 2-2 game midway through the second. So yeah, some choke artists.
Yeah. I mean, I remember a podcast that we did when we talked about the NHL, I think playoff predictions. And I feel very good about this because I said, maybe this is the year Carolina does it. I said, why not this year? And I still say the same thing. Why not this year?
Why not?
They find, like you said, they didn't have Florida to get in their way. They've been dominant for the most part. I mean, a sweep 4-1 in their series. I mean, they've lost. They're 12-1 in the playoffs so far. Like, that is unreal.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, Vegas 4-2, only lost 4 games so far. So
yeah.
Also had a good sweep against a Colorado team that's really good. You know what I mean? You can't argue.
Good point, yeah.
They both have good resumes. You know what I mean? This is not like one of those where it's like, yeah, they barely made it, and then like one team collapsed. It's like both teams showed we deserve to make the final.
Well, the thing that I will say, though, unfortunately, is this has still been an overall boring playoff. I mean, we've had, one series or 2 series that won 7 games, both with Montreal. And, like, that's about it. Yeah. Like, a lot of sweeps, a lot of 4-1s, 4-2s, like, just not a very exciting playoffs, per se. Like, granted, the storylines are fun, but the games have been kind of like, eh.
Yeah,
that would have been cool if the Canadiens would have took the Eastern Conference Finals to a Game 7, because then the Canadiens would have all of their series would have been all to Game 7s.
That's the only fortunate part. But
No way! Sorry, the Knights just scored. They're up 3-2. Ooh, yeah, Goliath.
Hey, John Tortorella is now going to be smiling, even though he never smiles. That man is never really smiles. He's like Kurt Cinetti and it's like Kurt Cinetti and Bobby Knight were a coach. But I figured we got to probably talk about some real eulogies. We have to probably talk about the really sad news in the hockey world this week. We lost the passing of Claude Lemieux. Great player for the Montreal Canadiens. Great rivalry for the Red Wings in Colorado and those things in that era of the 90s. He passed away, sadly. It looks like he might have unalived himself. So, Douglas, I mean, you were the rivals as a Red Wings fan against Colorado. What are your thoughts on Claude Lemieux?
Well, Stu, unfortunately, I wish I knew more about him because it is very sad, but I don't know much about him. So I don't have too many thoughts other than it's tragic and, the shame that he didn't get the help that he needed earlier.
Yeah. The crazy part was literally last Monday, he was at Montreal having the Fire Cups at that game. We literally saw him on Monday and he's gone on Friday. That's kind of crazy to think about that.
What day was his passing?
It was on like a Friday, actually. It was a Thursday, Friday.
Past Friday, gotcha. Because isn't May mental health awareness month? The month of May.
I think so.
Dang. So wow. Oof.
Yeah.
Terrible to do it in the month of May.
Yeah.
It's true. You said it was on his own terms that he passed away.
Yeah. It sadly was on his own terms. Yeah. That's the one thing that's really sad. I mean, granted, I think you can think about the 4 Stanley Cups. Him winning a goal in Montreal, him winning 2 back-to-back against that. The famous fight, if you know that fight, Douglas, the 97 fight, where Claude Lemieux started that fight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a famous fight. Was that the goalie fight?
Yeah, where literally he hit, what was it? Who was the player? Was it Kurt? I think his name was Kurt, right? He shoved it and hit him in the stands. Or
honestly, unfortunately, I'm also fuzzy on the deeds, but I just remember my neighbors just have a picture of that fight up on their wall, though. They were huge hockey fans. That was fun. That was a fun era of Red Wings hockey.
Yeah, and crazy enough, that was a fun era of Red Wings hockey, Colorado hockey. I think they both went back-to-back Stanley Cups. Both Colorado, both Red Wings. It's crazy enough. 22 players made it to the Hockey Hall of Fame on both teams combined. That's how talented both of those teams were.
That was before the salary cap.
Yeah, that's unfortunately. So, and the crazy part is I didn't realize this. Claude Lemieux never made it to the NHL Hall of Fame. It's sad.
How many Stanley Cups did he win? Did you say, Stu?
4. 4
wow.
Cups. He won 4 cups. He wasn't great in the regular season, but he was a great postseason man. He won the Bruce Allen Trophy? Was the outstanding player in the postseason.
How many times did he win that? Was that just once?
Once with Colorado.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That is hard. Because, I heard them debating today on if Russell Wilson should be in the Hall of Fame, and it's kind of one of those where it's is he a Hall of Famer?
Did Russell Wilson, he won a couple Super Bowls, right?
I think he won one.
One Super Bowl. Made it to 2?
He never won an MVP. He never made a first-team All-Pro, I don't think. And so it's his numbers are solid, but it's I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if he makes it or not. He'll be close.
Yeah, what would make him what would put him over the edge to make him go into the NFL Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame? Did he set any records? Does he have any single game or single season records that I can't recall anything about?
No, he doesn't. And the point that they were also bringing up is he was carried by such a good defense. So it's it's kind of hard to make the case for an elite quarterback, but not even elite, just a really good quarterback, but with an elite defense. Did they win the Super Bowl because of him or because of the Legion of Boom?
Yeah. True. That's a question either way. But I figured, we got to send one last clip right over here. Probably my only hockey clip, but I figured this should be the hockey clip where Claude Lemieux won the Game 7 overtime goal against the Hartford Whalers for Montreal for their only time when he won his Stanley Cup in Montreal. And I figured I wanted to do this.
Game 7 overtime game winner. Hell yeah.
Yes, I figured I wanted
That's
to
being a Hall of Fame.
What year was this?
1986.
1986. All
This is
right.
the finals against. Yeah, this is probably the last golden era of Canadian hockey where they were just like super good. You know, Montreal won a couple. I think Colorado won like 3 in a row. Calgary won a cup. I think they won a couple cups right over there. And Montreal sneaks that cup, so I figured we'd just play this great clip right over here, gentlemen.
Lemieux qui reprend derrière le filet. Une passe. La rondelle libre. Reprise par Lemieux. Le tir. Claude Lemieux!
Everything sounds cool with that accent.
Yeah, some French.
Claude Lemieux.
Des jeunes, encore une fois. On avait parlé de Snowden. Quel effort de Claude Lemieux. On l'a vu se faire frapper à la droite de Mike Lihout. Il a été le premier à revenir frapper 2 défenseurs successifs. Je pense à Merzin, de Poirot.
These guys are men. Don't even have visors on the helmets.
Good old days.
The good old days when they didn't even wear helmets. So that was 1985, you say? Wow.
1986. Yeah, 1986. They played against the Hartford Whalers.
Guys, what year was the last time? I mean, I know it. I'm just quizzing you guys. Last time a Canadian team won the
1992, 1993, and that was Gary Bettman's first year as commissioner.
Dang, so you're on it. So yeah,
Gary Bettman loves America, too. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes, he does love America, indeed. That's what. But like I said, rest in peace. I hope. Like I said, gentlemen, and I always will say it: if you are struggling here, please talk to someone.
Yes, sir. Put the 1-800 number in the description of this video.
I'll definitely put the 1-800 number right over here in the description, as always. You know what I mean? Anyway, but back to the regular schedule program. We're going to probably talk about a couple other eulogies right over here. The first one, which was pretty obvious, we knew that Colorado was not going to win this series against Vegas. It was 3-0 last time we talked about it. But what a collapse right here for the Colorado Avalanche right over here against Vegas. How do you feel about Colorado? The curse of the President's Trophy. Granted, there's 16 other teams. It's fair. You have the best record. But it's interesting that like the tradition still continues, and it's been since
12 years for the curse.
Since 2011 is the last time a team has won the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup.
All right, so 15 years. Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if I'm an Avalanche fan, I'm super disappointed because it's like this year you didn't have Edmonton there to kind of take you out. Like, granted, they keep losing to the team that makes the finals, but it's also like when you have Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar, you expect, and you win the President's Cup trophy, you do everything, you kind of expect it to be your year. And so, like, it's just a very deflating feeling. You know, if we talk about different feelings, like this one stings. This one feels like a missed opportunity. I mean, you're getting a 95-point team with a home ice advantage, and you get swept. Like, you didn't even make it a competitive series.
No, it was not a good series. It was not a good series right over here. This was a pretty abysmal series. I mean, it's bad that you literally lost decisive games at home.
All right, gentlemen, question for you. What was a worse series to watch, this one or the Knicks versus the Cavaliers?
I would say this series. At least the Knicks and Cavaliers was hilarious in game one if you were like, oh, choke artist blew a 22-point lead. But besides that.
Yeah, the Avalanche never even really looked like they were serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as a Cavs fan, I don't really know how to answer that because even though the Cavs lost 4-0, like lost series 4-0, it was still interesting to see them in the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, the top two teams in the East, not standing wise, but duking it out. You know, through the playoffs. But I didn't really feel that the Cavs were going to even make the finals if they did. they would lose. But like, yeah, I can't really say which one's the worst series to endure. But I just think the Golden Knights are going to win the Stanley Cup after kicking the Avalanche's butt. But yeah, just like you said, Doug, it's like comparing almost like the Edmonton Oilers. You have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and then the Avalanche, they have Cale Makar and McKinnon. It's like, yeah, you guys get swept, can't even make it to the finals. But yeah, it's a curse.
It's a curse. This trophy curse is real. Don't win. I always say it. It don't matter how you do in the regular season. It's how you do in the postseason. That kind of makes sense.
I remember when the Pistons won the NBA title in 2004. And my dad just looked at me and was like, yeah, remember this because this shit doesn't happen all the time. And this is after I've watched the Red Wings win 3 Stanley Cups, and the Pistons were in the finals every year. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you talking about?
Yeah, your dad's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, what? Yeah, okay, old timer. Yeah, you don't know anything. And now all of a sudden I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, I would just love for my team to be competitive. So it's these opportunities when they're there feel so disappointing. When you have such a good team and you just can't, because it's for all we know, Colorado could go on an absolute slump and not be competitive for the next 10 years. Granted they won't, but it's these opportunities are valuable, man, and it sucks to get swept and to not even feel like you put forth your best effort in such a big moment.
And not to talk bad about the Detroit Lions or the city of Detroit or Detroit sports teams. I think, Doug, you mentioned the group text. That's now Myles Garrett is going to the Rams. He's going to the NFC. So if Detroit makes a playoff run, they might have to play the Rams in the playoffs. Myles Garrett coming after quarterback of the Lions. I can't think of Stafford.
Goff, yeah, he's playing with Stafford now.
Yeah. Joe Burrow's just like, oh, sorry, thank you, Myles Garrett for leaving the Browns. Thank you, sweet.
Well,
Jared Verse, the guy we traded.
Well, it is nice to see some teams go all in, though. That's the one thing that Detroit teams won't do, and it pisses me off. It's you see Philadelphia and Los Angeles and all these other teams are fuck it, all in. In Detroit sports, we'll wait and see if we do it. No, try. Make some risky trades. Don't just say, if we get there, we get there.
Hey, the Browns go all in, but I'm a crappy player, Deshaun Watson. Stuff that blows up in our face.
You don't have that? Or what was it that one year when they were we went all in on Russell Wilson. He's going to cut. He's going to be a Denver Bronco. Yeah, that's going to work out.
Let's ride.
See, but the thing is with those teams, though, when they keep trying that, I feel when you do it the way Detroit does, then you're down for so long. Whereas the Broncos, they did that and it stunk, but then they immediately pivoted out of it, realized a mistake, and they said, screw it, and they then have another great team that almost made a Super Bowl last year again. I would much prefer to push the chips all in, maybe not do it, but then just kind of retool. Not just, we'll get them eventually.
The Hurricanes, sorry to interrupt, the Hurricanes just tied it up 3-3.
What a game. What a game.
7 minutes left in the second period.
I can't wait when we're going to watch. That's honestly going to be one of my favorite. This might be a good finals in this one. And this is interesting because we got to do a predictions. We can't be they have one good game, so they might bias our predictions. But it's this is going to be interesting. But anyway, for Colorado, unfortunately, all the snow melted. There's no more Avalanche.
Yeah. No snow in June, baby. Get out of here.
No snow in June right over here. And then now we got to talk about the other eulogy, the Montreal Canadiens. Last time we talked about it was a 1-1 series in Game 2. And then they lost to 2 double overtimes. And then they just collapsed at that point. They just gave up. They were like, we should not get a Stanley Cup E.
Yeah, after Game 1, I clearly thought that the Canadiens were going to be in the Stanley Cup final. But nah, Hurricanes, they made a hurricane and typhoon season or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, they won 4 straight games and proved it why they deserve to be representing the East.
Yeah. Nothing but respect for Montreal's season. I think when we first talked about the playoff series, I think they were outside looking in, and to make a nice run at it, make it all the way to the championship, the conference finals and win the first game. felt like they overachieved from my perspective. So,
I mean, they did, but I feel like there's a little bit of a disappointment. But I think that you can also say, like, hey, I'm excited also. Like, you made it this far. You did this. I feel like they're in the same boat as I feel as, like, Buffalo is with the Sabres. It's like, yes, you can be proud. You can do it. But it's like, oh, man, they just made it close. You know what I mean? It's like you can be proud of your season, but there's a tiny bit of disappointment, if that kind of makes sense.
no, yeah.
Honestly, if I like, I guess I can compare the Canadians. Like, if I was a Canadian fan, well, I don't know how their mindset is, but like as a Cavs fan, it's almost like I'd be proud to go to, like, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Canadians should be proud of what they did. Like, I'm not sure where they finished last season, but I mean, yeah, going to.
I think they were eliminated first round, if I remember correctly, last season. Yeah. But, I mean, they made it far. I mean, granted, it still stings. They have not won a cup since 93. It's been this long since Canada, and the tradition continues. After 33 years, Canada cannot still hold a Stanley Cup, which is crazy because there's still 7 teams. I'm just saying. It is.
I would hate if my last title was in the 90s for sure. Why'd you do space hours, Stu?
Yes, Stu, come on.
Yeah, it would suck if you gotta get projectors on the last time you guys won a championship.
Are you talking? Who are you talking smack about? The Red Wings? They just won one. I guess it's already been 20 years since the Wings have won one too. So
talking smack about both of your teams.
Oh, well, fair. Yeah.
Hey, we at least won it in colored television in 240p. Just saying.
Won I think the Lions won 5 NFL championships.
Yeah.
Just 0 Super Bowls.
Cool story,
bro. The Browns have a couple NFL championships.
Cool story, bro. Did you win? Did you make it to the Super Bowl? Oh wait, you guys have not. Boo. Boo. It's like but anyway, for the
you can't hurt me anymore, Stu.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. We just can't hurt you down because it's like your expectations are in the ground. Right?
Mm-hmm. This is the year, Stu. This is the year.
This is the year. We'll get there.
Easy schedule, worst to first. Here we come.
Yeah, the Browns. We have the easiest schedule, strength of schedule.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Browns Lions Super Bowl. Here we go.
Let's go.
But anyway, Montreal Canadiens. Do you have any final thoughts on this team?
Better luck next year, Canada. USA.
Yeah. Keep the cup in the United States of America.
Yeah, but I guess for the Montreal Canadiens, we're now bounced out in the playoff hockey.
Adios,
Canadiens. And we got the finals that we've been dreaming of. This is interesting. Like I said, I talked earlier about the narratives right over here. One narrative, team has been barely here for 10 years. And it also sucks because, like I said, as Blue Jackets fans, we've been 26 years, and we can't even make it past the second round. Just saying. And yet there's been a team that's been a decade, and they can make it past them, past the finals, made it to 3 Stanley Cups finals.
Well, one thing I will say, though, is the Kraken and some of these other newer teams haven't been nearly this good. So, Vegas has to be doing something special. I don't think it's just because they got lucky in the draft or whatever. They've made good trades. They've been a solid, well-run organization, it appears, as well.
Yeah, I still laugh at that first year when they made it to the finals. It was them against the Capitals, and all the Canadian teams were like, the NHL, the fix is in. They rigged it for us. They rigged it for Vegas. They rigged it. I'm like, no, they did not. It's your shitty ownership that literally got rid of some of your talent and put them into Vegas.
Yeah.
Who do you got to blame? Your ownership. Just saying.
Yeah.
But it is so amazing. They're pretty much doing it. They got a young talent right over here in that one, and the great coach, Mr. John Tortorella, our former Blue Jackets coach.
Tortorella, let's go, John.
Woohoo!
Johnny
boy. So can they hold Lord Stanley for the second time in a row?
Any of you guys think that the Carolina Hurricanes are going to win the Stanley Cup?
Me.
Doug? Stuart, who do you think is going to win?
Vegas.
Oh, all right. Doug, you want to make a $5 bet? I'll take Vegas. You take the Canes?
I'll do it.
Captain.
You want to do the bet? I'll do the bet.
I'm looking. Yeah, I want to get a burrito tomorrow, or I guess in a week I'll do it.
Not game one. I'm talking about the entire series.
But like I said,
when's game 4? By June 8th, I'll be eating my burrito, boys.
7 days. Yeah, if we do the podcast next Tuesday, just be chowing down on a burrito. Wait, no, but the game won't end until probably after the podcast is over. So.
Oh, man. Let's do it next Wednesday.
Anyway, but now we got an interesting other narrative. So one team is kind of a Goliath rising from the ashes right over here of just being great and continuing. And also you got to, I got to eat my words because the first time I was like, why do we need another team in the NHL? There's a bunch of teams that are losing money. Why do we need to add Vegas? This is the stupidest idea ever. You know who was the idiot in the end of the day?
Who was it?
Yeah, I want to hear you say it.
I'm pointing at it right now. I'm pointing at it right now.
Well, I mean, I still think some of your points are valid, though, because it's like, a team like Utah is never competitive. There's a bunch of teams that still aren't ever relevant, it seems. Like, you get a Buffalo or a Red Wings that make the playoffs once every decade.
I know. I mean, it's like, you need to go back to your time machine and be like, younger Douglas, this is 12-year-old Douglas. This is Douglas from the future. Your Red Wings are going to be ass now, but don't worry, the Lions are going to be good for a few years. It's like, we're in the upside down mode. What?
Yeah.
That's how it is for Cleveland sports. Not all are like either. Well, the Browns are never good. It's either like the Browns always suck and the Cavs are good, or the Indians are somehow good.
Yeah, it'd be the opposite for you, Chris. Be like, go to yourself, Chris. Be like, yeah, the Browns are still shit. Nothing's changed. You just got different ownership.
Hey, the Indians will make the playoffs and they'll lose in the first round.
Yeah, nothing changed.
Good.
But anyway, interestingly enough, we got to talk about the Hurricanes. And we say, Tree always says it. Rally, come to our games. We made it to the finals. We didn't choke in the postseason like we usually do. Carolina, like I said.
Well, Stu, here's the thing, okay? It only takes 1 year to change the narrative. Like,
yes.
Our boy, the Great Eight, viewed as a choke artist, won a cup, and everybody's like, amazing, first ballot, greatest scorer of all time. All the Carolina all the Carolina Hurricanes need to do is win one.
Yeah, you win one, your narrative changed. Like, I always think about it. I think of people that had, their narratives changed. I can always think about it. Steve Yzerman from the Red Wings. He was considered a choke artist. He was considered like, oh, this guy can never win a cup. He's good, but he's not that good. You know what I mean? And then the narrative changes. Alex Ovechkin's a perfect example of that one. 3 years in a row, they couldn't do shit in beating the Penguins in the second round of the playoffs. Year 4, finally beat the Penguins, and then they went on the way and won a Stanley Cup.
It only has to work once.
And you know what? Narratives change, and your past failures are all obsolete after that.
Oh, Carolina almost scored.
But
3 minutes left in the second period, 3-3. Here we go.
I mean, I'm loving this Hurricanes team, and I feel like that this and finally they get to make it. Finally, you don't have to play against Florida. Finally, after 2 years of just choking in the second round, the finals, you get to finally make it to the finals. It's been
well deserved. I mean, like I said, didn't they have the best record in the East?
Yeah, they have the best record in the East. Only lost one series game so far. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you said 12-1, and it shows right there in the
yeah,
bracket. That's crazy.
12-1 is nuts. I mean, yeah, I feel good about the bet. Like I really, but then again, I also thought that Colorado beat Vegas too, but Vegas just has something figured out. Jack Eichel maybe is a postseason sniper.
Yeah, Jack Eichel's looking amazing. Like I said, the Carolina Hurricanes are just looking like both teams. I definitely do feel like they deserve it. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's fact. But you will say, Douglas, you're going to pick the Hurricanes. What game will they finish and get and hold up Lord Stanley, in your opinion?
I'm loving a game sixer.
I'm going Game 6 Vegas.
I mean, since I took Vegas, I'd probably agree with you guys. Game 6 to the Knights.
I hope this goes to Game 7. I think, wouldn't it be great if we go to Game 7 and it's overtime? That is what I want. That is
the best 2 words in sports. Game 7.
See, I hope so because the Game 7s overall have been buzzkills lately. You know, like I mean, maybe I'm just being a little bitter guy about how the Pistons sucked in their Game 7 and how some of the other Game 7s have not been great. So like I feel like the Game 7s, while there's everything on the line, I want them to be like you said, like overtime, last second shot. Like I want to see clutch plays and clutch times in big games.
Yes. And legends are born in Game 7s and goals.
Mm-hmm.
You can always think about that. So we're gonna see how it goes in this one in the NHL. And look at that. We got done with the hockey, and now it is time for some quick NBA chat.
I actually asked my dad today because in my mind, the Spurs should and are big favorites, but a lot of people are hyping up the Knicks so much. But I personally feel like it's just because they're from New York. And like maybe I know I'm probably overlooking something here, but like I feel like the Spurs deserve to be a big favorite.
Yeah, I'm not gonna unless people want the Knicks. I'm picking the Spurs to win this NBA Finals. I just think that Wembanyama, like I said earlier, he should be on the MVP. Dude, he's a beast.
Yeah. No, I guess we should talk about Christopher before we go. We got to talk about your Cavaliers, and I figured I got to show you this clip of your favorite of all
wounds, Stu. Let's go.
Yes, Mr. James Harden talks about grading himself and about.
Oh, is this AI, Stu? Let's see.
No, this is real. This is real. I just kind of wanted to see what's your thoughts on your favorite player of all time.
Good news. I think they already gave him an extension.
Yeah.
I think I did pretty good. Like I don't grade myself off shot making. I think coming here was just a piece to fulfill whatever needs to be fulfilled, and defensively being extremely solid, offensively, getting guy shots and fitting into a system.
Yes. How do you feel about that? You felt like
defensively solid? Is that what he just said?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's a generic answer.
Yeah, and our Czar Thompson was offensively solid. Like, what are we talking?
I mean, I'm a basketball casual, and I'm like, that wasn't.
I think Jalen Brunson absolutely cooked him. Like that's the reason that they came back from 22 is Jalen Brunson cooked Harden time and time again.
Didn't he not score any points in one game? Just saying.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned on last week's podcast or some time ago that, or maybe in our group text, I much would have rather have saw Detroit match up with the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, but can't change the past. But yeah, I much rather saw Cade versus Jalen Brunson. Yeah, I think it would have been a better matchup. I think if the Knicks would have won that series, I think it would have went to probably 6 or 7, not a 4-game sweep. But
well,
yeah,
I mean,
I'm glad. Like, I'm glad the Cavs made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's cool. I mean, it just sucks that we took our first 2 series of 7 games and get swept in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's not too good of a look.
Well, and sometimes teams are just a bad matchup too, and that's the problem. Is like I do feel like for whatever reason, the Knicks are a bad matchup for the Cavs. Like I feel like they're too similar. Or like I just feel like I don't know. It wasn't a good matchup. Kind of like for whatever reason, it seems like the Minnesota Timberwolves randomly give like the Denver Nuggets a really hard time. It's like why? I don't know. Like, the Nuggets can be great, but for whatever reason, in the playoffs, certain teams are bad for certain other teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true on that one. But unfortunately for the Cavaliers, the Knicks have arrived.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see some finals games in MSG. I will say that. I mean, obviously, I'd rather Detroit or even Cleveland over New York, but honestly, you just got to accept the reality, and seeing Wembanyama in New York for an NBA Finals is going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, but it is going to be interesting. I mean, and also, how do you feel about the Spurs coming back? I think it was like 3-2. It was like 3, and then coming back.
Yeah, they were down 3-2, and then they won game 6 and 7. Yeah.
Yeah, come back. The power of the nuns. That's what I got to say.
The one thing I will say, overall, amazing series. I wish that games like whatever was 4, 5, 6 were competitive. It kind of was boring that each one of those games, granted they were swinging, but they were blowouts. I'm not a fan of those series where it's blowout, blowout, blowout. Granted, 7-game series. Game 1 was an instant classic type of a game. And I mean, San Antonio to go into OKC Game 7 and win it, also very impressive.
Yeah, you can't get mad at this. I mean, eulogy on the Thunder. I mean, granted, they were the NBA champs, but they couldn't make it they didn't do the back-to-back on this one.
Well, I mean, it kind of feels unfortunately, I mean, granted, this is dramatic, but I almost feel like this was their window and it's already closed. It's hard to see anybody really beating the Spurs in the near future if they're already the best, and I think their players still have a lot of room to develop too, and
knock on wood, as long as Wemby stays healthy, no health issues, no foot injuries or anything of that nature. Like you said, Doug, Spurs are going to be a team that no one's going to really be able to handle, and we might be like the Cavs and the I know I'm talking about NBA playoffs or NBA finals, like the Cavs and Warriors. We saw that for 4 straight years in the finals. You might see the Spurs and the Thunder 4 or 5 straight years in the Western Conference Finals.
Well, I'm going to hope that's like Star Wars that I just watched, where it's giant swings. You got to have the Sith Thunder come back and maybe win a series, and we need some epic swings here to make this a dramatic rivalry for years to come.
Yeah, but also we'll say, aren't we going back to the 90s? Because look at that. The Knicks and Spurs are in the finals. It's like we got retro. I mean, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs, it's been a few years since the last time they won a championship. It's been almost a decade ago, if the last time, if I remember correctly, right?
Speaking about retro, I love the Spurs. They give fans those colored T-shirts to wear in sections. It's their old school colors, the teal, the orange, and the pink. I love the way that during the playoffs, all the fans are wearing those colors, and just their arena looks amazing when there's a game.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
But anyway, gentlemen, who are you going to pick for your finals, for your pick?
Let's go Spurs!
Yeah, I'm going to go. I like Spurs in 6 as well.
I'm going Spurs 7. I think it's going to be a good series.
We all want the Spurs. Wow. Screw you, New York.
Yeah.
I've almost been swayed with how many people are hopping on the bandwagon, but I just think that Wembanyama is an unstoppable force. I don't see anybody in New York that could possibly stop him. I feel like New York's got a small team, and it's just not a good matchup. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It's even crazier. Even my parents who stopped caring about basketball for years and years and years. It's been decades. They used to be my dad used to be a Houston Rockets fan. Even he's oh yeah, I love that Wembanyama guy right now, and he's he's the talk of the town, and
he's the talk of the world, dude. People can't get enough of him.
Yeah,
your dad lives 20 minutes from San Antonio.
Yeah, 30 minutes from San Antonio.
He probably has a Wemby jersey, dude.
He's not got a Wemby jersey, I will say.
Yeah, I can't see him wearing that.
No. My dad will not wear a Wemby jersey in that one.
Sure, get him one for his birthday or for Christmas.
Maybe I will for.
Yeah.
But
Wemby crazy, let's go.
Yeah, Monty's a super fan. Get that signed, Stu. Don't give me cheap stuff.
But I will say this is going to be interesting. I will say before we go, I have to send one more clip right over here, and this one was Mr. If you watch the Pat McAfee show, Douglas?
Sometimes I've dabbled.
Yeah, you dabbled. You experimented a little bit on the Pat McAfee show. So how do you feel about that? Adam Silver And I figured I wanted to show you the full clip right over here of Adam Similar saying that they will implement a review call system using AI. And I figured I wanted you to.
Is Adam Silver AI? He looks AI AF right now.
It sounds like, that's something a master.
If that's not an alien, I don't.
Halloween edition.
Halloween edition of this one. We figured I will show you the 2-minute clip right over here, gentlemen.
How about the flopping? Flopping. Big conversation, Mr. Commissioner.
So, it's been a conversation. I would only say that there's a difference between selling a call,
Is that actually
exaggeration,
him?
and a true flop, which is where you're
I don't know.
actually.
He looks
I
different.
think sometimes even as I sit in the stands at games, players may be falling down, players may be reacting to the call, but then
down on
to me,
purpose.
if they're not fooling the referees, it's like, okay, that's like the players are taught to sell calls these days. I mean, can officiating get bad? Can officiating get better? Of course. We're always working on that. Can officials get fooled occasionally? We're always looking at that as well. But the officiating is incredible. I will also add one other piece to it because I know there's always controversy around certain calls. There's one you were talking about on your show earlier today. And I think in terms of replay, I think we're going to get to the point fairly quickly where, for example, out of bounds, the very play that you were talking about.
Chet Holmgren's foot, it's big deal.
Yeah. And I think where, just like, if you're a tennis fan and they have what they call Hawkeye, and it's like the animation, and you quickly see, where the line was and the oohs and ahs of the crowd, it touched the line or it was out of bounds. We're going to move to a system like that where that whole category of calls will be automatic, where, it's going to be, Laker ball, Nick ball, whatever it is, Thunder ball, those calls will be done by an AI automated system with cameras lined around the court. And it'll take all of those so-called objective calls out of the hands of the referees. It'll be instantaneous. It'll be automatic. Just play on, let's go, Spurs inbound, and you'll move on. You won't have to deal with challenges on those calls, but it'll also now allow the officials on the more difficult subjective calls to give their full attention to those where, because there's often contact on every play. It doesn't mean there's a foul, and they're trying to measure sort of whether that contact
I hate this. It's such a tough topic, Stu. But like you're saying that some contact is not a foul, some is.
So anyway, I think there is
define it better.
Really be helpful here.
Yeah,
because even me and Jake were still talking about the one Cavaliers one where they said that they slightly bumped knees, but then you're saying not every contact is a foul, but it's like, oh, James Harden jumped forward 18 feet and had somebody step near his foot and he fell backwards. There's 3 shots. It's like, no, there's a difference between selling a call and flopping. You're right. But there's a fuck ton of flopping. Like these guys jumping way out of their way to create contact shouldn't be a foul. Like, you're not selling a call if you're actively jumping into a guy and then falling down. That's like me saying, like, hey, you want to fight me? Okay, let me grab your fist and throw it into my head and say, oh, look, he fought me. Stupid as hell, bro. Like, terrible take, Adam Silver. I mean, he has to say that because he's the commissioner. He's not going to say it's trash officiating, but the whole world knows that it's trash officiating.
Yeah. I was when I found that clip, I was like, oh my goodness, Douglas.
SGA is unwatchable. I saw one. I think I sent it to you guys. One of the best takes was I think it was Jay Williams. He's sitting there and he's like, dude, this dude is so fucking good. Why does he need to do this? Like, just play the game and be your best self. If you get fouled, cool. But you're literally, somebody's not even near you and you're falling backwards 8 feet and you're throwing your hands up to the officials every play. And it's like, this is exhausting. Just play hard and play the game and let the calls go where they go. But like this whole foul baiting bullshit is unwatchable to me.
Foul. I gotta say, it's all fouls.
Like I'm glad the Spurs won because Wembanyama gets his ass kicked, but you don't see him doing that. Like I can respect that. Like Jalen Brunson does drive me crazy, and like that is why I'm also pulling for the Spurs because like he does that where he throws his head and does this and pump fakes and jumps into guys. Or Wembanyama's like, I'm getting rocked and I don't care. I'm gonna swat that shit 15 rows deep still. Like, get out of here.
Get out of here, bro. In that one. Oh.
Sorry. I'm passionate about shitty officiating, Stu.
Just for that rant, you got a 2-point foul. Sorry, foul.
God damn, man. Well, I mean, I think I said this before, but like if it was just consistent, like fine. But like when you can just feel the refs like changing the momentum of the game because then they start calling tic-tacky shit on one team. Then you can feel that they're doing a makeup call because they missed something over here, and you're like, dude, there shouldn't be like these makeup calls, these really clearly bogus fucking calls just because you missed a call over there. Like, just I don't know. So I don't know what needs to change, but it's terrible. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully the finals is well officiated and the best team with the best players wins.
Yeah, we just want a good finals. That's what we hope for, gentlemen.
That's all we're hoping for.
That's what you hope for, indeed, in this one. And look at that, gentlemen. That is it for this week's podcast. How do you feel about that, gentlemen?
I'm ready to go watch the third period of this Hurricanes Vegas Knights game.
Yeah.
Let's go Spurs. Let's go Carolina.
Let's go. Indeed. So anyway, so we got our weekly wrap up for our podcast. So this is probably it for this week. So next week we'll probably talk about what happens in game 1, 2, and maybe 3 for the NHL, and maybe game 1 and 2 for the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
I will say, hopefully, I will say it not 100% confirmed. I'm hoping we can do a World Cup preview podcast sometime this weekend. As always, we'll see. On the 48 teams are going to go, I'm rooting for Democratic Republic of Congo to win it all. World Cup champ.
France. Let's go.
Let's go USA. 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 Embarrass Canada. Embarrass Canada.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, as always, gentlemen, I'm going to catch you later, Mr. Gator. So as always, take care. Bye-bye.